reports.
Everybody must have had big lunch, Jeff. Everybody's quiet. That's what Jeff.
I don't eat a big lunch, but I did this time. I saw you. I got mine to go, but I seen you in there enjoying it.
Had a run on beef stroganoff.
If it's beef stroganoff day, you better go. That's all I got to say.
Now where is this at?
Hale Springs Inn,
Hell Springs Inn.
the old hotel across from right down from the courthouse. You know,
Oh,
where the
okay.
coffee and the cows across the street.
Too far to make lunch for me.
Yeah.
You haven't signed yet. We might as well go ahead and get started. It's a minute before 3, and I'll call the Hawkins County Joint Economic Executive Committee and Board of Directors joint meeting to order for January the 9th, 3 o'clock. We'll call to order at 3 o'clock. And hope everybody had good holidays and getting back into the swing of things, staying happy and healthy and prosperous and all that kind of good stuff. Make sure everybody's on the sign-in sheet. Next order of business is to approve the minutes from October 17th, 2023, and Nancy's passed them out. Take a minute to look at them. I'll entertain a motion to approve them whenever. You're scrutinizing your minutes.
Don't look at it.
Any issues? All right. We've got a motion from Mr. Lund that the minutes are approved as presented. Do we have a second? Second from Larry Hawkins. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? No. Good deal. Old business, Nancy, you have anything on old business? Anybody else have anything on old business?
Too early in the year.
Too early.
I don't want to know if there is.
Okay, we're gonna get into new business. Before we get into all the community reports though, I asked Liz Bennett to be here today from the Holston Business Development Center. They're starting a new program called Co-Starters, MMFC, called Co-Starters, and she wanted everybody to be aware and figure out the best ways to get the word out about it. So I'll turn it over to Liz.
All right, I'm Liz. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We will be having co-starters at TCAP 5th Spin starting on January 22nd. It is a 10-week how to start a business course. So we cover topics from know your customer, finding the right solution, your relationships, how to build it, your sales channel, your marketing. Cover all of that in the span of 10 weeks. I facilitate the class. We bring in outside speakers who are speaking to the class with some expertise in those areas. And we hope that they come out at the end with a pretty good working business model that they can then implement in the community. We do have sponsors with Think Space. If you're familiar, Think Space covers the 8 counties in the area and the entrepreneurial ecosystem that is there. So they are sponsoring it along with Appalachian Community Federal Credit Union. Has given a $500 prize for the winning team. So the team at the end that presents the best business plan will get that $500. Or we could split it. We're still playing with it. We could split it out into 2 prizes if there's equally good ideas out there. We do have scholarships available. It is $150 per idea is what we're saying. So if you come in with a partner, 2 of you will only charge you $150 for that group. Or I've got a family that's interested in coming in. So that is, we do have scholarships available. If that $150 kind of puts people off, let us know. We'll cover it.
Do you have anybody interested in signing up or signing
Yes,
up?
I actually had 4 people signed up online last night. So
Good.
something somewhere clicked last night, and I got 4 signups. And I know that I've got about 6 others interested right now. So
You've got room for how many?
hoping for 6 to 10, so.
Do you got minimum to roll with it? 6?
I've got 4 right now. I think we can do it with 4.
Okay.
As a beginning course, I think we could do it, but I'm pretty confident I'll get at least 2 more signed up, so.
You got your speakers in their area?
Yeah, my speakers are coming up next.
Okay.
So if anybody has any suggestions for speakers, somebody who's done a successful business, is good at marketing, is good at accounting, that might be interested in speaking one night, it's about an hour long, so the class is 3 hours. The speaker is typically 45 minutes to an hour with some Q&A involved. So if anybody that you know is interested, please let me know. I'd be happy to reach out to them and see if they can come speak on the night that is relevant for their expertise area. So I do have cards, I have flyers, I have any more information. I'll be here till the end, unless you
Okay.
guys go really long. I'll sneak out and I'll leave this for you, but I will be here
We
to
should
answer
go
questions.
really long.
Or want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be happy to answer the questions.
I think it's a great thing for the county. Get people interested in businesses, starting new businesses, keeping them rolling, and great thing for the center too, because,
Hopefully bring some light up to
bring
the
some,
HVDC
bring
as
some
well.
people
Yep.
in there. So,
And I'm very happy to be partnering with TCAT. I think that's a
yeah,
great
thank you
location
all
for it.
for doing
So,
that. Thanks for doing that.
This is a great program, and it runs all over the state of Tennessee.
Mhm.
It's a great program that has been a lot of business startups.
And it has been done in Hawkins County before. It was held at HVDC.
Oh, okay.
Qualified as Hawkins County, but,
Yeah.
but this is the farthest into Hawkins County, I think it was gone so far. So, but yes, please feel free to talk to me afterwards if you have any questions.
I'm sure y'all know Liz does a fantastic job over there. I mean, she's keeping that place hopping.
Thank you. I started my morning off with no water, so.
We fixed the water.
We did.
But, me know that Pat went out with bad water.
Put you in the weekly report.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate it.
You brought some of those little square candies, they received you up
Yeah, those candies we had.
I know, I meant to give you one, Nancy, and I forgot. I had little chocolates made for the appreciation luncheon. So next time you're filling, I've got in my fridge for you.
Yeah, you gotta take advantage of it. Jeff, you didn't hear that. You don't get any.
Give me a good article, Jeff, I need to.
Yeah. All right, let's move down. Any questions for Liz? I mean, she said she'll be here afterwards, but we'll can entertain questions now if you want. Everybody good? All right, community reports. Hawkins County, I guess that's me. Kind of lost track of since the last meeting, what's been going on, but we did get the tourism grant for the bridge at Laurel Run Park. We're working on that back and forth between us and the city of Kingsport. It's crazy, but we found out that the bridge is actually on Kingsport property and not, it's in Hawkins County, but it's inside the city of Kingsport. So we're trying to get some joint efforts going on that, so we can get the bridge across for bringing a lot more tourism. I'm real hyped up about that. I think it's gonna be a great deal. We had a TDEC mayor's meeting October 23rd. Not a whole lot came out of that. We had the Holston Business Group and we discussed co-starters. Annual meeting of the First Tennessee Development District was November 1st. And my partner in crime, Pat Scholl, was elected chairman and I was elected vice chairman, so he's gonna leave me in a lurch, I'm sure, in the middle of the term.
Just a couple of months shy.
Yeah, you'll be all right. We'll keep you on, you don't have to be official. Big thing happened, we've got that $2 million plus airport grant, and the improvements are now complete out there. We've got new lighting, we've got new, what do they call it, PAPI? The landing. Yeah, approach lights. Yeah, we've got new taxiways, and everything looks great out there. Came in right at budget, so can't complain about that. The next thing we're looking at the airport is we've got 3 hangars, I believe it is, that are becoming property of the county in the next couple of months. So we're trying to to set up a rental schedule for those, and we've talked to the folks who have planes in them, and they're willing to do that. Those were privately built, with the understanding that they reverted to the county at a certain time, so they're reverting. We're gonna rent them. It's just rental rates are all over the place on airport hangars. So Sarah in our office here is trying to get all that pulled together, and we'll have an airport committee meeting and discuss that too.
So, I want to ask, so question, basically, the county has no money tied up in hangers,
No.
and they just give it to them for free, so
Yes.
that's a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in their agreement, in their contract when they built them, that it reverts to the county.
That's a good
They
deal.
have to build them, they have to maintain them the whole time they have them, and then after X time, it reverts back to the county, and
County's
we
ownership.
can rent them back to them.
Mhm. Yeah, and then we're looking at probably building a few more. Hangar rental at the airport is good income, and we're trying our best to make the airport at least a break-even function. So we're close, we're real close. And now that we've got all the improvements done that the FAA required, we're real close to being. I think, I put some numbers together for somebody 3-4 weeks ago. Year before last, we spent total taxpayer money on the airport about $7,000, and close to $8,000 the next year. So it's not the money drain that people think it is. It's to spend that little on it and have that asset and be able to tell people we have it is worth what we pay for it, for sure. A lot of people would disagree, but that's my opinion on it. Any other questions on the airport? The EMS board was restructured totally. There are no members left on that board that were on it before we restructured. We've got representatives from a lot of organizations, the Hawkins County government and medical, and on down the line. We had a meeting last night. We had a really good meeting. We've already revamped the bylaws on that, streamlined them quite a bit, made the meetings open to the employees if they want to come, which hadn't been happening, and the employees were not happy about that. So they're welcome to come and listen and put their input in as well. And then we're gonna get some job descriptions in place. We've got a new budget that we're working on. A lot of good things happening with EMS. Now, the joint partnership with them in Hawkins County is still progressing, but it's gonna be we won't get into it a whole lot until everybody starts doing their budgets for this year, for the next year, to see how much everybody can kick in and be involved. And we left some spaces open on the board for representatives of municipalities that give money and want to participate. Since the last meeting, we officially sold the little triangle property there at Churchill in front of our new building over there that we would have no use for. Eastman Credit Union bought that, and they have bought all of the rest of that there. As far as I know, they don't have immediate plans to build a branch there, but he said that's what they're going to do. And I think it's a good place for one.
Did you say Walgreens?
Eastman Credit.
Eastman.
Eastman Credit. They bought it from Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was Mountaineer property. The only part that's not theirs now is there at the veterinarian's office. So that's done, and we've got the money for that. We're pleased with the amount. I had set office hours in Churchill to be at the building up there just to hear anybody that wants to talk to me. The last Wednesday of each month from 12 to 4. And had a couple people come in the last time, mainly questions about trash and things I can't do anything about, but I think it's good to have a presence up there. They all were happy that I was there and they didn't have to come all the way down. So I'm gonna keep that up as long as it keeps, generating some interest at least. On December 18th at First Tennessee Development District, we had a working lunch with the legislators. Let's see who all was there. Tim Hicks, Gary Hicks, Timothy Hill, catch them before they went back into session to kind of give them our requests, to let them know what we thought about, various things like education and other things that they're gonna deal with this time. And it was a good discussion. Hopefully we'll see some results out of it. I think the mayors are, gonna get a trip together to go to Nashville to actually talk to as many people as we can up there, but that's not a set thing yet. And December 19th, we had an emergency preparedness breakfast at Holston Electric. Well attended by a lot of folks, and it was well presented. Basically, it was a recap of what they had done through the rolling blackouts last time and what's been improved and what the plan is now. And Patrick, I think you were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's some good information. Larry, were you there?
No.
Okay. But they've got putting a system in place, an email or text message system that'll get the word out a whole lot quicker than Facebook did it last time. So if you want to be on that list, call up there and talk to, is it Kimberly? I don't remember. Just tell them you want to be on the emergency preparedness list, and they'll put you on it. They're trying to be way more ahead of the game than they were the last time, and we got through it last time, averted some real disaster. I mean, John Spear was within about half hour or so of shutting down because they couldn't get any coolant water because of the ice, and they came up with a probably non-OSHA approved way to get the ice broken up, but that worked out. And of course, a couple of plants were offline, and a lot of that stuff is what has caused them to start looking at alternative methods like the battery energy storage system and so forth. So they're on top of it. TDA's working on it. Holston Electric's working on it. So I think that's all I've got. Let's see, Mike's not here from Bulls Gap. Kimberly Churchill.
Pretty much the same as last month, but we are getting ready to start the project at the park. We our BMA meeting next week on Tuesday. We will be bringing it before the board. We have GRC Construction who has put in a bid and see if the board approves that. So that way we can start. And again, it's only going to be pretty much a driveway with a parking lot. We're going to start with restrooms and a pavilion. So that'll be the first phase of work that we're going to start on as soon as possible. Hopefully try to break ground by the end of January.
Great addition.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it's going to take once you get started?
We don't know for sure yet. Still working some of the little bugs out with, again, because we still have to let our construction company know we're actually going to use them.
Right.
So we were kind of taking our time on that just to make sure all the extra funding that isn't covered that we can fund. So that's not too much more going on. Of course, all the street projects are on hold till spring. But we are trying to take care of the sewer next. We're having a hard time keeping that running right now, so we really got to get the Holliston Mills pumps running. We are getting everything together to put that out for bid too. We want to try to get that out for bid by the end of January, so we can get those pumps running and everybody will be happy. So Cardinal Glass wanted to be involved with that, and they kind of went back and forth with them, and we just decided we're gonna do this on our own and get it moving because we can't wait.
Yeah.
We can't wait with the little back and forth. So we're gonna get this going and
Sewer's pretty important.
yeah, and right now it's just there's so many problems with it being older and everything. We're spending so much money just repairing it right now, band-aiding it. We need to get those funds rolling and go ahead and get that fixed properly.
I did.
They are still considering hooking Cardinal Glass up, I think.
Yes, we will be doing that. because originally Cardinal Glass was going to get a second grant, an extra grant in order to do that. Well, it ended up being the city that had to apply for that second grant. So we've got that extra grant to help us, and then we're just going to do this. And if Cardinal Glass wants to chip in, we're hoping they'll put in a little bit, because we are going to take on some of their responsibility. I know they are pretty much running as a sewer plant, so and they can't do that anymore. So, and basically our biggest issue right now is just making sure we can get the right size pump we need to fit it into the space we already have, so that way we didn't have to actually move it and relocate it. So they're working those bugs out right now, and we should be able to keep it where it's at and make them happy too, and make sure that the park will be okay too as we get further on with that construction as well.
Good deal. Lame duck show, what you got?
I made an announcement that I wasn't gonna run again, so my term does end on the 31st of August. I missed last October meeting. I apologize. I can't remember what it was, but I had some kind of conflict, but it must have been pretty important.
You're always here, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna ding you on that.
But October, we had a lot of stuff going on, and there was an article in Times News on Saturday, had front page, big stories of 2023, and the news guys here, Tessa and Mr. Bobo, they probably have a good feel for this, but citizens are really fascinated by restaurant openings and closings. I mean, that gets a lot of hits on the,
You gotta eat.
on the Facebook page. I guess at Times
Biggest
News.
news.
I really think that the biggest story, and it continues, is the upcoming dental clinic in college. We got a check, and I believe it's in October, for $250,000 from Blue Cross Blue Shield. And we've gotten money from Delta Dental, and we're working this. We hope to maybe have a groundbreaking. It's kind of the building's already there, but it's kind of more of a start the renovation, this kind of thing. But the dental clinic leading to a college is just the gift that keeps on giving. You give some of these students scholarships, and the universities, ETSU and UT are working on this, but if you can obligate them to stay in a rural area,
Right.
and so we all would come out ahead.
Right.
You got so many baby boomer dentists that are retiring and so forth, and dental is a real need in our area. So I think that's really the biggest story, and it's an ongoing story. But we had the big announcement at the mall about IMAX Theater going to come in. The current theater is going to be renovated. Rural King bought the old area where Penny's used to be, and Rural King's kind of a big deal. I mean, I think this is, and there's going to be 2 restaurants. I can't remember their names right now, but on the out parcels. The parking lot's so big that they call some of that area out parcels, and they're not going to run out of parking places, I can tell you. But that's really going on. And of course, retail's that one area where you compete with everybody, and because the way our sales tax structure is designed, and we're looking at the Pavilion, another mall of ours, and things we might be able to do there. We're looking at Cement Hill becoming a passive park, and plans of that. We opened a new park. If you go to the Walmart on the east side of Kingsport, off of Fort Henry Drive, behind that area leading to the river, we created a nice park. It can be used right now. It's got a nice dock where people can fish off of and kayak next to and so forth. But we're going to do some more stuff to it. Got a paved trail and everything. That was a nice thing. Let's see what else. The move to Kingsport is going real well. We had over 600 families in 2023 move here. Remember, when we look at that, we don't count anybody that moved here within a 35-mile radius. We wouldn't count a guy moving from Mount Carmel to Kingsport, but anybody outside the 35-mile radius would count. Of course, the biggest state contributor is other Tennesseans, but we get an amazing number of people from California, Florida, these people can't wait to leave California. They can't leave soon fast enough. But we have a networks meeting tomorrow morning. I know, of course, y'all have a contractual relationship with them. They signed up Clay Walker, the executive director, for another contract. Their annual report is due out. At the Kingsport, we lost our economic development director, John Rose, went to the hub, the regional hub. If anybody can help make that get off the ground and be a viable enterprise, John Rose is a really good man. And I'm sure he'll come down and he'll talk with folks down here. Let's see what else I got. Just as general information, we have a Board of Education election on the 5th of March, to coincide with the presidential primary. I'm not crazy about this because it became a partisan election. I firmly believe that municipal elections, both school board and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, should be nonpartisan. We have council manager form of government, so it fits with that. But anyway, be that as it may, we've got 3 school board slots that are coming open out of 5, and 4 candidates, and they all signed up to be Republicans. So the election is 5 March, and unless there's a humongous write-in, 1 August is the general election, and then those folks would be confirmed. The BMA election, of course, is 1 August. My term ends 31 August. I got educators here. I really think this Tennessee Reconnect is an important thing. I mean, these people like in their mid-late 20s, maybe they kind of floundered out there after they got out of high school, but this is a way to really put somebody back on track to have a good career, a good life. And I just think, I wish y'all luck in attracting people into that Tennessee Reconnect. And that's about it for right now. The city manager's in Nashville. We'll see what he comes up with. He's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, it's time to push the legislation, that's for sure.
Big question is, any new car washes going
Yeah, I see we have another comedian. Yeah, I tell you.
But top of the top, Giuseppe's is staying open.
Yeah, was it Nancy that said, what about the Red Lobster? I tell you, people really, they get head up about restaurants.
Car washes and coffees.
I think, too, the best restaurants in the whole area is Hell Springs and the Amy Mill. That's it, unless you've got questions or
There's my
funny
headline.
comments.
I'm glad to see Giuseppe stay open because really,
Yeah.
Giuseppe's and Chop House, that's only 2 really nice,
Yeah.
sit-down, formal type places you really.
I feel bad for the guys at Giuseppe's because they've gotten to the age where they want to retire. They've worked hard, they had a good business, and they had a deal that was almost there, but it fell through. So I wish them luck. I like having an Italian restaurant, like that. So.
We've got a new Italian restaurant downtown.
Do you really?
Little town Italian.
Yeah.
And everybody's raving about it. I've not been here.
Correct.
Yeah, another downtown restaurant. Really good. All right, any more questions for Mayor Schull? Mount Carmel is absent, Rogersville is absent, Savonsville is absent. We're down to the Rogersville Hawkins County Chamber.
Okay, all right, well, we're kicking off the new year, and like we were talking about earlier, it's just kind of hitting the ground running. We're deep into a couple of grants. We're trying to get another grant for the Powwow office. We've been very fortunate in downtown Rogersville. We've had Town Italian open. We've had several other businesses open down there. We're starting to fill up our buildings again, and I actually took a guy on a tour today and was kind of amazed myself. Sometimes they slip in on you, don't realize that they've opened up. You don't find out, well, where they come from. They were here yesterday, but we seem to be doing really well. The Chamber's, of course, legislative breakfast is February the 10th. I've got tickets with me today, or you can pick them up at the Chamber office if you're interested. They're $20. Our invited guests, of course, are Timothy Hill, Gary Hicks, John Lundberg, and Diana Harshbarger. and they'll be talking about legislation that's gonna affect Hawkins County. So it's always a great meeting. We're still working on the caterer. We've got a couple of conflicts with them, trying to figure out which one's gonna actually get the bid. So, but either way, the food's always fabulous, and it is a great day. It's they bring some great information into the community, and they stay afterwards and answer questions that you might have. Went into legislation started
Today.
yeah.
Assembly met today.
The chamber, Rebecca and I are going down to a legislative session at the end of this month, and do a little baby kissing, I guess. And then the Northeast Tennessee Tourism has one scheduled in March, so we're gearing up to present our cases to them and try to get funding for the things that are important for Hawkins County. And just trying to think what else. It's been one of those weeks already. And what is today? Tuesday.
That's not check.
But yeah. But anyway, we're just starting the year off and seeing what the needs are. I actually did my first newsletter today on constant contact, so if you get a chance, check that out.
I got it, hadn't read it yet.
And so trying something new, and for a technically challenged person, that's a big big accomplishment. Yeah.
I might talk about the website too.
We launched the website, the East Tennessee Vacation website today. If you look on your Facebooks and all the other media, we did launch that out today, so we're excited about that. We're still getting a lot of people advertising on that, and we think that that's going to be a big asset for Hawkins County to do marketing and promotion there. Let's see. Trying to think what we talked about. The chamber meeting was Monday, and I can't remember what we talked about. But anyway, we're hitting the ground running, trying to get everything lined back up again for this year. We did receive a grant for St. Mark's. That's going to be a co-working center and a entertainment event center. And our goal is to try to get that finished by October of this year. So offering opportunities for office spaces within that center, work center for small meetings, some individual day workshop work centers. We'll have two. There'll be one's a 6-month rental you can do. Two of them will be a yearly rental, and one will be a weekly rental. It'll have a kitchenette, and it'll have a privacy booth where you can go in and do calls. And basically what this is for people who work from home and do not want to bring people to their home, and they can go in there and conduct their business. And you'll have 24/7 access. It will have internet service, phone service, and of course electricity and water. It'll have a small kitchenette, so if you want to do some kind of small meeting, you'll be able to do that. Upstairs, the sanctuary up there, we're going to put the benches back in. It will hold about 200 people. So our goal there is to have an event center, anywhere from a wedding to a business meeting. We'll have the business stuff up if you want to do a business meeting there and need a large place. We seem to run into not have the ability to have over a place that will seat 100 people. This way you've got seating, you've got the business equipment to do whatever you need to do. So we're excited about that. Excited to finally, hopefully, get the church finished. That's been, we didn't realize we started that project in 2015. And so it's going to be a real joy to see it complete and a live, viable business again. And, well, that's kind of still Mark's thunder here.
No, go ahead. You worked on it as much as I did.
We're, of course, also received a grant for the Kenner House. And the Kenner House is located right there on Main Street also. We're looking at doing a artisan center there, and hopefully we're going to put a commercial kitchen in. We'll be teaching classes on canning, which we hope will help some of the people that sell at the farmers market. We'll be offering different one of the things that they wanted to focus on was the revitalization of some of the old, blacksmithing, quilting, different things like that are being lost. And so they also are going to do some gardens, vegetable gardens, the box gardens. So we're really excited about that. We have a group, the Homestead, Homesteaders Group. And they have about 50 to 75 members, and so they're going to co-op it out and work together to do that. We're really excited about that. That's a beautiful facility, and especially you don't realize how beautiful it is till you go inside. And it's got marble fireplaces. It's got all this wonderful woodworking inside. The biggest thing is we have to bring it up to ADA handicap standards, and so we're putting in 2 ADA bathrooms and ADA access. We're hoping to have enough to complete the whole building, but if we don't, then we definitely will get the downstairs done and have, so that way we're putting it back on the tax rolls and trying to generate income that way.
Kitchen's gonna be a great thing. I mean,
Yes.
there are not many commercial kitchens around that, people can learn from and use and things like that. So, I mean, it's gonna be a couple year project.
Yes.
But, it's moving.
Yes, both these grants are, we have the date on is 3 years, but we're fast forwarding St. Mark's because it's been so long and getting done, so I really would like to see it done. And then this one's gonna take a little bit more because it's a lot more work, and so we're hoping that we can get that done within the 3-year period of the grant. So.
Anything else? Patrick, anything else? All right, Hawkins County Industrial Board, Rebecca and/or Larry.
I've gone through the, oh, go ahead.
No, go on. You do. And I'll tell them. I just spoke to the Rotary Club, today, and I was telling them, there's so much going on at Phipps Bend right now. We've got 2 projects that, for the life of me, we cannot seem to get announced. The equipment's sitting up there, it's wirehoused. We're just waiting on the completion of the building, but we still have not been able to. That's Project Heat. Another project, they completed all, or pretty much their construction, and are ready to start hiring people, but they're waiting on the state to make an announcement on that one also, and we're showing them property, if everything goes well, for a fairly large facility they want to come, that goes with it. We mentioned, you'll see in here about the expansion, the 7th expansion for one of the companies up there. They wanted a phase 1 environmental done. They wanted all kinds of surveying done and everything. We've completed all that. We've just not formalized it in a contract yet. That is going to be a great addition to the park. A lot of the items they use are in current demand around the world. We're real excited about, this new group that's involved with the merger of this company. The 2 big ones that we've talked about, the BEST program, the Battery Energy System storage system that we're looking at. The attorney has been handling that and getting together information from 3 different companies that are interested in it. Anyway it goes, this is a windfall for Hawkins County taxpayers. The least of the 3 would probably generate in excess of $1 million a year in new tax dollars. That'll go a long ways toward rebuilding schools that are 40 and 50 years old, paving roads and doing things that need to be done in Hawkins County. there is some opposition to it, and we've yet to figure out exactly where they're getting their information and stuff as to why they would be opposed to something like this, but this is one of the things that TVA is looking at, and they're building these things absolutely all over the world. And so we would, it would be a great thing if it's on our property and not TVA's property, because the county taxpayers will get the revenue from it. It doesn't produce a lot of jobs. It's just I mean, when you're talking about something that's gonna cost $350 million, and provide an income stream for the county for 20 years, it is a big deal. I can't generate anything any higher than that, so, the general populace that sits back and lets things happen needs to get involved, because there's some opposition to this thing. Project Rock, or Volcano, whatever they call it these days. We've talked again this morning, with, that's ongoing. Hopefully, the decision will be made within the next few months on that particular project.
And that project's bringing in another
And
project.
then there's a project that's tied with it. Another European, Norwegian, not Norwegian, Finland group that's looking, that wants to come with that project. All of that, decision will be made sooner rather than later. It'll take up much of what's left at Phipps Bend of the property, of the acreage and everything. Then,
And even with the pilot that we're giving them, they're gonna generate quite a bit.
oh yeah, it's unbelievable, the tax dollars that go with this thing, and the number, they're talking 500 jobs, good paying jobs. There's opposition to that also. I mean, we just, every good deed does not go unpunished, let me tell you. But we're working with, both, entities, trying to come to a conclusion on this thing fairly quickly. They tell us, we met with TVA this morning, and things are moving on. It may not go. I've been left, stand at the altar before, but, it's still moving. We passed out, Rebecca, you wanna tell them what you passed out there?
Yeah,
on what you did?
that was the year in review for 2023. So I've got it broke down into months, so you can just go back and review. I mean, we've got, I think there's almost 2 pages worth of stuff that we've highlighted for 2023. Several projects are mentioned in there, as well as, items that we have accomplished or done for 2023 as well. The Phipps Bend paving project is in there, as well as some other, the water. We do have the water line upgrades and looping for Phipps Bend that was scheduled to be completed last Saturday, was postponed due to the weather, so it's gonna be this coming Saturday.
Maybe.
So.
Yeah, 5 degrees,
Yeah.
24 degrees,
Yeah,
or 5
supposedly,
degrees.
so, trying to keep everybody in the loop on that in Phipps Bend as we go along.
Well, the water tank is, I know up there, and
Yeah.
it's
I think we
back in
talked about that last
operation,
time,
and,
yeah. It's completed and back in operation, so.
and we were able to get all the money for the upgrades for the Scorpion Utility District for the upgrades, but then a low interest loan for the redoing of the water tank, so we have to try to work with all these utilities. We're working with Churchill, for, they provide us, the sewer service at Phipps Bend, and so we stay in good with them. And we've been working with, the glass plant, Cardinal. That was one of the first things when we first went up and met with them. They said, we're tired of running a package plant. We want some help in getting, and they're willing to pay, so you just have to keep your feet to the fire. so we just got all kinds of things going. I think everybody looks at the industrial board as when you have a ribbon cut or something and you get to announce, this new industry got 30 jobs, you know, or something, but I'm telling you, it's that every day in the trenches that's keeping everybody happy and moving is what, where it's at, so.
I think we're working on 5 potential right now.
5 different
With
potential.
waiting announcements on 1 or 2 others, yeah.
It's unbelievable. And a lot of, the stock market's, you know, doing well and the economy's doing well. And so, we're in there with them on projects and, it's gonna be an interesting 24 if everything holds out as it is, so.
Well, I think you're right. A lot of people think you sit back and have lunch one day a month and, you know, don't do anything else. But when you're in the midst of it, you know what you all are up against.
Well, we've met, this is my 4th meeting today, since I left home this morning,
And he
7:30.
doesn't get paid either.
No, yeah.
So,
Well, y'all need to be commended. I mean, if you just look at nothing else, if you just look what's gathered right here, I mean, it's amazing what we do without, you know,
Big paid staff.
big paid staff. I mean, there's people that have big paid staffs do not accomplish what you all accomplish. And once again, I think like you said, for you all to be, to do all the things you do and move all the monies that you all move, if it's from USDA or if it's from Appalachian, ARC money or whatever it is, I mean, y'all are always there working for it and doing what needs to be done. And I mean, the whole board and Rebecca does a fabulous job. And, you know, just thank you all for what you do, because all these jobs that are being created would not be here if it hadn't been for you guys.
we appreciate it. I forgot about this. If you've not been down 66 at night, you got a city on the hill over there where that new gas company's coming in that we've met with, you know, and
They're supposed to be in operation here soon.
I went there the other night, and I mean, when you round the corner there, it's just like they turned the spotlights on, and I was absolutely amazed. And in fact, on the way back, I stopped and drove over there just to view what all they're doing. It's amazing. Jobs and more tax revenues. Somebody's doing something, I just don't figure out
Who it is.
who it is.
But, and, you know, all of this economic development is finally, it looks like we're gonna get 66, the super highway. You know, and we've been working on that. We started on that when I first took my job in 1997.
That wasn't out of high school.
I went out of high school. They were starting on that project, and it was gonna be done within 5 years, and that's been that long. But it looks like they're saying 27 now, that they hope to have it completed. And so, I mean, that's fantastic news to be able to get that. And if you look, you know, there's businesses going in all along that corridor over there. So I think, you know, you're gonna see continuous growth in that area due to knowing that the highway's coming and knowing that other businesses are already there. So, you know, business, I guess, be God's business.
Well, there's a lot of thanks for Mike Solomon at Bulls Gap. He's been on top of that for the last little while. He's not here today, but Mike's been riding the herd on that project and doing a good job. Any questions for the industrial board? All right, we're over to Susie and/or Charles for the technology center.
Hey, Charles.
Well, I sound more like a broken record most of the time than anything else, but in a way, that is a good thing, because you don't want a roller coaster when you're in education, and you know, you're trying to be a good partner for the county, the surrounding area and region, whatnot. So in terms of attendance, I always give a little update. We've just started their spring term, and their attendance is right where it was in the fall. I'm glad to say that all of our classes are full. We've even had some that, you know, the attendance has been a little iffy. That's come up. Our dual enrollment's exactly where it was in terms of those that come to the school. We've got 22 dual enrollment students that come to the school from the 3 high schools. And we've got some of those in industrial electricity, industrial maintenance, HVAC, welding, so it's across the board. Of course, our cosmetology dual enrollment, they stay on the high school campuses, and we do have about, I think it's about 6 students there between the 2 high schools. They do a lot of work-based learning in that. So I am pleased with that because a lot of times the closer we get to the summertime, you know, the attendance starts going down, and we want to try to do everything we can to make sure that don't happen. I'll talk about my instructors for just a minute. I talk constantly with them. We don't necessarily meet because I don't want to interrupt, learning and what they do. But we have talked a lot about rigor in our school. That's not just a public school word. That's a word that we can use as well, because we want to make sure that what we're doing is we're turning out a good product. And if I can say that way, we're turning out a good product and we're helping this county in this area. And, setting up visitations, setting up tours and things for people that come through. We've done a lot more of that since COVID seemingly has, at least from that standpoint, died down. The last group I talked to was Cardinal Glass, and I'm wanting my industrial electricity, industrial maintenance instructor to go to them, hopefully sometime this month, and do a tour just to see what one of the larger industries up there around us is doing. So hopefully that will come to pass. And that's what I'm talking about being more rigorous, and then we can bring that back to our campus, and we can put our heads together and again, turn out a good product, someone that's going to be ready to go to work. And I met with a couple of my instructors today just along these lines. Of course, truck driving has, and I'm going to put it this way, in my opinion, has turned a corner. We're not new anymore. We're a year old this month. And just to give an example without going into a whole lot of detail, I've got 15 students that want 8 spots in the February class. And so, we have them apply, they get on a wait list, and then we work the wait list individually if need be, because we want this program to work, because it needs to work. And, then they have some requirements, and glad to say that, they are meeting the requirements. And so it looks like for right now, we are in very good shape when it comes to truck driving. We are very much hopeful that our instructors become examiners sometime this year. And we talk a lot about that. That may open up some avenues that we don't want to go down, but it will open up some avenues and be real good for our students. And I'll have to say that having our students leave the program with their CDL is the best thing we've got going. They don't have to make an appointment. They don't have to go somewhere and wait 6 weeks, which is as long as the class is, to get in somewhere. So that is the best thing going. And so I'm real pleased. And again, I'm going to put the credit on my instructors, because they get out there, they meet with people, they go places, they go to high schools, they do whatever they can do to put the spotlight on that trucking program. So I'm real pleased with what's going on there. A lot of y'all were involved. This will be the last thing I'll talk about. We're involved in the meeting we had. It was even on the update there in December, the meeting we had at the school. There were a lot of people in this room that were at that meeting, at that tour. I'll say this, TBR took that seriously, and they are actively pursuing some of those things that we talked about that day. So I am pleased with that, and I hope nothing but good comes out of it.
Do you have any truck driver graduates transition into bus driving?
I've said this before, so I'll say it again. In my opinion, that is coming. Dr. Sisk at the state level, they're working on a situation where I think there will be more emphasis put on bus drivers, not only school bus drivers, but passenger bus drivers. But so far, to give you a yes or no or a short answer, so far we haven't done a whole lot of that, because we have to, my guys have to have those endorsements to be able to teach that, okay? But we can direct them right now toward avenues. If they want to pursue that, we can direct them what to do after they get their CDL for the endorsements, proper endorsements, stuff that they need. That will, in this coming year, my estimation is that the training and things for that will change.
Any other questions for Charles or Susie? All right, Hawkins County Schools does not have a rep here, so just let you know our next meeting date, Tuesday, April 9th at 3 o'clock, right here. Appreciate your all's attendance. I wish we could get some more folks involved in this. Some good information gets passed around, I think, so. Anybody have anything else?
I should have mentioned, we have a lot of housing that's starting to
Yes, sir.
materialize.
Yeah, I'm amazed every time I drive through there. Yeah. Anything else? Motion to adjourn from Nancy? Who needs we need a motion. Pat? I'll just point them out. Everybody in favor, get up.